very easy where we are today in society to feel very despondent about the state of the economy, the air of despondency, the lack of opportunity that it seems to be for bright people, for example for graduates and postgraduates. But I think what this exhibition really demonstrates to us is that with very little money but heaps of imagination, it's possible for people to create game-changing ideas. Although we're sitting in an incredibly turbulent economic environment, it's very scary in terms of what could happen in the next few years to our lifestyles. The manufacturing world, particularly the design world, and people on the margins of the design world, are starting to offer us some new ideas about what could be the industries of the future and how could we do things in very different ways. Take, for example, traditional manufacturing. Most manufacturing approaches start with the idea of a block of something, whether it's wood or steel or plastic, and then we chip away at it, we etch away at it until we get the shapes we want. Well, now there's this view that actually you start with nothing and you basically build up your object, with the notion that we can build up far more complex objects than we can machine away. Where we are now is, if you like, what could be the centre of the future of many things, which is 3D printing. The whole idea of 3D printing is that rather than cutting away at a block of material to create the object you want, you actually start from nothing and you layer it up micron by micron and print exactly what you want. So that's a mind-blowing concept, and you're now seeing people, for example, print entire cars other than the tyres, with a view that they'll be able to bring them to market for around $50,000 with maybe 1/10 of the energy footprint of a traditional car. 3D printing is really potentially a massive revolution in manufacturing and in the whole way we create and consume products. Here we see a fascinating device called RepRap that was created by a guy called Dr. Adrian Boyer. And his idea is that you'll actually have machines that self-replicate, that print themselves. So you therefore have the potential for a huge industrial revolution, completely democratizing production. Almost bigger than a brainful in terms of our ability to understand what that means. That could mean, in the same way as you have a microwave at home, you have a 3D printer, or we have fab centres for a community or in a shopping centre where you'll take your own design and have that printed. It will change the whole way in which people manufacture for local markets, because it means we don't have to ship goods in. We can literally manufacture on the doorstep, customise. If market trends change quickly, you can change your product very fast and customise it to the local market. The potential is enormous. We're seeing people now experimenting with 3D printing organs, 3D printing the most complex objects imaginable. For these really mission-critical components, 3D printing is offering a way forward. Some businesses will recognise the value of this and taking their product, instead of selling the product now, they'll be selling the design, and actually the retailers could have the power again, because the retailers will have the 3D printer in their store. You can imagine a situation where, for example, I'm a crockery company. I have a huge back catalogue. Imagine I'm Wedgwood. I have hundreds of years of designs, not only my own, but the history of crockery. Now I have the potential for you to have whatever object you want from history printed in one of our stores. Suddenly we're opening up the world for personalisation, customisation, and we were all very worried that we were moving into a standardised, homogenised world where everything looked the same, where everything felt the same, everyone had access to the same object. Suddenly 3D printing and some of these other techniques will allow mass customisation, so will give society lots more room for self-expression at a relatively low cost.